In this episode, you'll get a never-before-seen look at trolling the tube and worm. Trolling the tube and worm is a technique that's been around for decades. And in today's episode, you'll learn how striped bass attack tubes from above and from below. We'll also chase around some top water blitzes and share with you 2 of our favorite recipes. So tonight, right off the bat, I just want to let you know the only reason we're not wearing life jackets is because we're very, very close to the beach and the water is 70 degrees. If it was early springtime or late fall, or if we were anywhere further offshore, we would definitely have our life jackets on. The evening of August 1st was quiet and calm. It was one of those nights that you dream about all winter long. All right.
Go?
Yep. So let it out for 5 seconds and then pause for 3 seconds. And then let it out for another 5 seconds. And then pause for 3 seconds.
Why?
And then, when trolling in shallow water, it's important to let the tube out slowly so it doesn't get hung up on rocks or weeds. Our trolling speed was 1.5 miles per hour, which is perfect for the tube and worm. Suddenly, a school of fish began chasing the tube. The stripers were taking turns, nibbling at the sea worm. Until finally, one of the fish found the hook. Oh, nice. You got it on the way out.
Oh boy.
Good job. Does it feel like a big one?
I don't know. It did at first, but now not so much. Oh, no, he's kind of small. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, he's a fighter.
Sure is.
Feisty.
Very.
Hey there, bud. Yeah, we haven't had striper to eat in a while.
Thank you, fish. He's gone. The fish were here and they were biting, so we put the tube and worm right back in the water. When trolling tubes, a slow twisting action is typically most productive. Lauren carefully paid out line, expecting a strike at any moment. The stripers continued to steal our sea worms. However, one fish finally got the hook.
Oh, he's jumping. Would be the same feisty guy earlier.
Very nice. You want to let him go?
What do I do?
Just ease him into the water over there. He should have plenty of life.
Okay.
Today, I'm fishing with Lauren, and we're having luck with stripers by trolling the tube and worm. There's many ways to troll a tube, but here are a few of my favorite tips. Lure that we've been using tonight is, of course, the tube and worm. This is a 20-inch red tube. Definitely need a sea worm. Some people will use other types of bait, but I love tipping it with the sea worm. And we're fishing in such shallow water that I am using braided line. No weight at all. A lot of times we'll use weight or lead cord line if we're fishing in deep water, but because we're so close to the beach and we're in such shallow water, we're just using braided line with no weight. The last thing I want to touch upon, which I see a lot of people have trouble with, is your drag when you're trolling tubes. You want it tight enough to get a good hook set, but loose enough that if you get a big fish, it'll be able to take some line. So just a quick test, you just want to make sure your drag is tight enough to get a good hook set, but loose enough that you're not going to snap off a big fish. The sun was about to set, and I had promised Lauren I'd take her out to dinner, so we decided to do one last troll. No bumps?
Nope.
Just get back into the area.
Oh gosh, look at that rock.
I know.
That's why when you're standing up it makes me nervous. What if we hit that and you fall overboard?
That would be something. Striped bass nearly always zone in on the tail end of the tube. When you get a bite, keep the boat in forward to set the hook. Big bass were here, and I hoped Lauren would hook one on the last troll of the day. Oh, you got one? Oh,
I
good.
was
That's
just
a good
letting
one.
it
Let go.
out.
Oh.
No, but I was...
Good. That might be a big one.
Okay.
Nice. Very good. The fish took some line, and we were hopeful it would be big enough to bring home. Oh, keep it going.
Sorry, my ear.
You're doing fine. Ooh.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. He'll probably be small.
The little guy?
Probably.
Well, this is our last fish of the night.
But he did hit pretty hard. Weird.
Oh, yeah. It was a beautiful striped bass, but unfortunately, the fish was too small to keep. So Lauren and I decided to give it another try about 1 month later on the evening of September 5th. Our plan was to once again troll the tube and worm, but that changed in a heartbeat when we saw birds working and fish blitzing in the distance.
I don't know how much more of this bouncing I can handle. Oh.
There we go, all right. Look closely and you'll see two different species of fish. The striped bass are darker brown in coloration, while the bluefish have a lighter hue.
That's so cool. So many birds.
These fish were feeding on peanut bunker, which are common on Cape Cod during August, September, and October. All right, let's see if I can get a cast over to those birds. Oh yeah, oh, another hit. I'm awfully, oh wow, right on the surface. I was using a 9-inch Super Snacks soft plastic. The Super Snacks is a great lure for stripers, but like most soft plastics, it will get shredded by the sharp teeth of bluefish. Oh, wow. You see that?
Wow.
Flying out of the water. Slow guy. Whoa. All right, come here, bud. Wow. Okay, there we go. So the bluefish, obviously, you got to be careful of the teeth. So I'm going to try to grip this guy right behind. There we go, just like that. That is probably the best place I know of to grip the bluefish. Right behind their little fins right there. You can get a really good firm grip and then remove the hook. There we go. All right. Some people are not fond of eating bluefish, but during 2020, Lauren and I enjoyed several delicious bluefish dinners. Smoked bluefish is one of my favorites. Last summer, I tried smoking bluefish for the first time. The smoking process took several hours to complete, but it was worth it. To learn more about this recipe, please go to myfishingcapecod.com/smoking-bluefish. When we return, Lauren and I go back to trolling the tube and worm in hopes of catching a striped bass big enough to keep.
Have you seen the sticker price of a new pickup truck these days? $50,000 on average for an average equipped pickup truck. Well, wouldn't you rather pay half of that on a 3-year-old truck with a warranty? You owe it to yourself to check out our inventory of over 40 pickup trucks. Truck Kings of the Cape. Come check out our inventory.
Welcome back to the Goose Hummock Shop here in Orleans, Massachusetts. And today I'm joined by Ian Bragdon. Thanks again for being on the show.
Of course, thank you.
So right now, what I have in front of me is a Shimano Torium 16HG reel with a Shimano Talus rod. And this is a conventional setup. And having a setup like this on your boat really allows you to be versatile in the waters here on Cape.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a beefier stick, something that can handle, some trolling, whether it's big sabiles or tube and worm. You can even, bounce bottom with something like this. So on the heavier side of things, having a heavy talus, rated to 100, 150 pounds, and then something like a Torium, some sort of conventional reel, throw some 50 or 60 pound braid on there, and you have a really versatile stick. You can troll with it. You can bounce bottom for cod with it. It's great to have something heavier, something you can beat up and target those bigger fish that are a lot of times in deeper water.
In today's episode, obviously, we were trolling tube and worm for striped bass. So it just fills a lot of niches. And I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to add about it.
Yeah, no, great setup. Yeah, usually guys like running 50-pound braid, 60, something beefy that you can really pull hard on. But yeah, like you said, whether dropping down or just trolling around, super great rod to have.
All right, well, thanks as always for being on the show, Ian.
Of course.
And I'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you. Hope so.
It's early September, and so far, we've caught bluefish, but we're hoping for a striped bass big enough to keep.
Wow, it's such a pretty evening.
It is. The sun had set, and it was getting dark. Fortunately for us, striped bass often go on the hunt during twilight.
Playing with it, he's probably eating the whole worm off.
Hopefully they didn't get all your worm. Bass will seldom bite a tube that does not have a sea worm. However, there are exceptions to this rule. Surprised you haven't already caught one.
I know.
They do like the tube in here, that's for sure. Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at him behind you. He's really pulling the boat.
Yeah, it might be a little bigger fish. Oh yeah, it's definitely, I think, a better fish. Oh yeah.
Geez.
Nice fish, Lauren.
That's
That's
the
the one
biggest-
we were looking for.
That's the biggest one I've caught this year.
That is the one we were looking
Can
for
we
right
keep
there. Wow.
Can we keep him?
Look at that, maybe.
Oh!
Wow. Really nice fish.
I did it! I'll hold this one for a photo.
Wow. Beauty.
Oh, wow! That's my biggest one this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is it bigger than the biggest you've caught this year?
Could be. Could be. The bass was a slot-sized fish, so we decided to bring her home. All right, so we're normally doing a lot of catch and release, but we're got to bring this guy home. He's a slot-sized fish. This year in Massachusetts, they have to be between 28 and 35 inches. This guy is 33 and a half inches. And we have not kept many fish at all. I think I kept one striper all year, so this will be number 2. Wow, he's covered in sea lice. Hopefully it'll be a good September, October. We got albies running, big bluefish, and some nice bass moving in. One of the simplest ways to cook striped bass and other whitefish is to dredge the fish in egg, cover it in breadcrumbs, fry it up in the pan, and finish it off in the oven. To learn more details and to access more recipes, members of My Fishing Cape Cod can go to myfishingcapecod.com/recipes. It was getting dark, so Lauren and I decided to make the ride back home. It had been another memorable day of trolling the tube and worm, and I'm looking forward to getting back out there during 2021. "2020 was a year to remember. Productive saltwater fishing began in the spring. The bite continued throughout the summer and extended into the fall. Throughout the year, I was able to fish with members of the MFCC community and explore some of Cape Cod's most beautiful places. And I'm looking forward to to seeing what this new season has in store.